All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Rob's Little Blue Book, and I'm hoping our internet holds out. It is looking a little sketchy right now, so if there are interrupts or lags, can somebody just let me know in the chat? In any case, you probably noticed from the title tonight that we are doing Mexican spaghetti, and of course Mexicans don't make spaghetti. This was a TikTok viral thing gone wrong. They do make Sopa de Fideos, which is a, hey Spencer, which uses a pasta noodle called Fideos, and Fideos comes in, well, we'll get into that in a second. Fideos comes in two forms, and I'll explain that in a second. I wanted a more comfort food dish. I didn't really want a soup tonight, so the other thing that they make, which is almost as popular, is Sopa Seca de Fideos, which is a drier version, so it's less brothy. It's a lot more, well, it's a lot more like spaghetti. So that's probably where the confusion comes in. Of course, TikTok is all about confusion anyway, so there you go. In any case, this was also partially inspired by a friend of ours, Eric, who he's so many things, but he owns a theater and puts on amazing shows, and we saw oh, that's funny, Spencer. Well, I'm glad I can entertain you guys. He does shows at the Red Tank, also theater, and I happened to see his last one, which was excellent. And he's, of course, he's on Facebook, because everybody's on Facebook, and he made some comment recently about using salsa instead of tomatoes to make pasta sauce or something like that, because it was all the same thing, right? It had tomatoes in it, so you could use it. And that doesn't surprise me because his plays feature lots of abominations, so there's no reason his food wouldn't. Any case, we're going to move forward with his inspired dish, because I love comfort food. I have not made this before, so this is going to be one of those episodes where you kind of like learn with me. But it looks really good, and it's comfort food, and I'm in the mood for comfort food because I was in the office today, and it was for a good cause. A friend of mine retired, which is amazing for her, less good for everybody who had to work with her. In any case, I'm in the mood for comfort food, so that's what we're doing tonight. I'm going to do a brief rundown of the ingredients. So it's not always done with mushrooms. I'm going to start with the mushrooms. I felt like mushrooms. I like mushrooms in my sauces. You could probably use whatever, whatever mushroom strikes your fancy. These are oyster mushrooms. I happened to stop by Galleria on the way home, and oyster mushrooms are great. We'll prep these in a sec. You could choose any mushroom you want for this, and it'll be great. If you choose white mushrooms, you probably chose wrong. There's so many great mushrooms out there. But if that's your thing, go ahead. We've got some pasilla chilies. Pasilla chilies are, you could also use anchos, but try and get these. You can get these in any Mexican market, and in fact you can get these in most supermarkets now. These look a little bit like guajillos. They're not. Pasillos say pasilla on the package, and guajillos don't. They say guajillo. These also, though, these can be a little bit confused. Sometimes these get labeled as anchos. Obviously, they're not anchos. In any case, use whatever chili you want. I like pasillos. We've got a little goat cheese here, which we're going to use for a garnish. We've got some crema, which we're going to use for a garnish, and also as an ingredient. We've got a little cotillo here to grate on top. It's kind of like Mexican Parmesan, which probably doesn't do it justice, but it's a table cheese. So we're going to put, where is it? I got cilantro back here, which is an ingredient. And normally I would top it with, I'll show you guys. Normally I would top it with a coriander garnish, but this coriander is looking a little tired, which is fine as an ingredient, but it's less than inspired as a garnish. So I'm going to top it with some avocado slices, which is never wrong. A little onion, and then for the heat we have chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. Again, this is a canned pepper. You can get it. I mean, even Loblaws carries this stuff, right? So you can get this anywhere. And if you can't find these guys, you can substitute a little more of these guys, but these are quite spicy and these aren't. So be mindful of that. What else do we have? Oh, and of course the star of the show is these guys. I'm going to show you one little bundle here. And we have to start with these guys. And as always, this is a technique thing. We want to show techniques. So you can get these as little short soup noodles. You can also get these little nests. I'm partial to the little nests. But if you can only find the other ones, they will work fine. The distinctive thing about the way pasta is used in this dish is these noodles are going to get toasted in oil, which is the first thing we're going to do, and we should probably get on. I have a little bit of prep to do first, though, so I'm not going to rush. We're just going to do things in order tonight. So we'll get back to these noodles in just a sec. Oh, if you can't find these, and I got these at my little Mexican market, vermicelli noodles are pretty much the exact same thing. So you can use that too. I mean, any angel hair pasta is going to work. Okay. Okay, now what did I say? Did I say prep first or did I say noodles first? I don't know. I've got a nice Mexican lager here while I try and figure that part out. If you guys haven't tried this is the Ace Hill lager. I kind of like it. It's really light tasting and like it's light beer. It's only 4%, which makes it good for sipping on stream. Okay, let's move forward. Let's just start with the onion. Where's my onion? So we're going to use an onion in this recipe, obviously. And we're just going to prep that real quick. And this is a very, very easy to prep dish. We're not doing a lot of, there's no dicing, there's no fine cutting, or I'm just going to whack this thing into like, you know, quarter inch slices, I guess. I almost dropped the knife. And since I almost dropped the knife, just a quick reminder, guys, be safe in the kitchen. A falling knife has no handle. Let it go. Okay. So again, this is like, and this is the other thing I love about this dish. We're gonna do it rustic, and I love rustic, and you know why I love rustic, because it's easy. But truly, you do want this kind of rustic, so it's fine. So again, we're just gonna like dice up our onions. We're gonna put some on the floor for luck. Put these in a bowl until we need them. And let's do the avocado next. The avocado's a garnish, but let's just get it out of the way. Any questions so far? You guys don't even know what this dish looks like. It's kind of hard to, I guess it's kind of hard to ask questions and envision things when you don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. Look at the size of the pit in that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to throw it in the thing and make a very loud noise. And again, I just want like little slices for garnish here. That's one. I'm going to put that down while I figure out how I'm going to get it out, because I didn't bring down a spoon, which was kind of dumb. Let's see what I got behind me to scoop this out. Okay. And oh, I do have a spoon. Excellent. I really kind of want forks for this. Oh well. Okay. And again, just pop your avocado out. Release it pretty easily. This will go in another bowl till we're ready for it. Okay, onions, avocado. The pasilla chilies are also really easy to do. Yeah, that was a good looking avocado, wasn't it? It's like a paragon of avocados. Pasilla chilies, so you do want to seed them. I'll show you guys a trick with the pasilla chilies. Whoa. So pasilla chilies, actually, they take a fair bit of effort to get through. And I'm just cutting these in those strips about the same width as the onion. And you can like bust these open and seed them, but I'll show you a trick here. It's really a lot easier just to like, if you toss them up at the end, the seeds all just kind of fall out. Again, you could use anchos here, but these have a really great flavor, so try and get them if you can. Also, you know, if you're in a huge hurry or you don't have access to anything except the supermarket, you can actually, you know, it would be easy to throw this together just out of supermarket ingredients, you know, because you can get the little, this is the only kind of pepper, these chilies and adobo. You could get by with just that, canned tomatoes, regular mushrooms, spaghetti noodles from the pasta aisle. You know, even if you're shopping at Loblaws, they're probably going to have avocados, although they won't have ripe ones. So you probably have to wait 2 weeks until your avocados from Loblaws are ripe enough to use. But other than that, and goat cheese you can get there. Crema, probably not, but you could use creme fraiche. So anyway, I'm just going to give these guys a little toss here, and you can see like all the seeds just kind of fall out onto the... I don't mind a couple of seeds. But they just kind of like fall right out onto the cutting board, and I just pick out what I need. Not too stressed about yield here. There you go. Pasilla is done. Okay, I'll take that. The veins can be a little bitter. I don't want those in. Okay, the adobo. So normally I would probably I would normally use diced tomatoes. No, I wouldn't. I would use these. Most recipes for this call for fire roasted tomatoes. And the problem with fire roasted tomatoes is they're not San Marzano tomatoes. That thing doesn't exist. So you kind of gotta decide, do I want fire roasted regular tomatoes or do I want San Marzano tomatoes? I'm going with San Marzanos because they're awesome. And normally I would blend like half of them with the chipotle and adobo. But as I said, I'm feeling rustic tonight. I was a little bit behind, so I'm just gonna dice one of these guys up and throw it into tomatoes. You can use as many of these as you want. They're quite spicy. You get a couple of options when they're really spicy like that. You can de-seed them, which I'm not going to do. Or just don't use as many. So in this recipe, I would kind of be inclined to use like 2 or 3, but I'm also serving this to Serena, so I'm just going to go with like a mild kick. That will make things quite spicy. And maybe we'll put in like, you know, just a little bit of the adobo sauce, which is also yummy. Okay. And that's just going straight into the can because that's going to be in our sauce later. If you want to get the blender out and that's your thing, you would add the chipotles to half the tomatoes in the blender, blend it up, make a lot of noise, annoy everybody on stream, and go from there. Okay, adobo's done, avocado's done. God, I think it's my prep. Oh, the cilantro. So I'm just going to chop up the cilantro. I don't think you can fire, well, I don't know. Normally you would fire roast the tomatoes, Serena, before they were canned. I don't think I can fire roast. I don't know if that would work. I actually kind of thought about that. I don't think it would work. So I'm going to just go with not sure on that one. I don't know the answer. In any case, I do know that they're amazing tasted tomatoes. And quite frankly, like fire roasting a tomato that's going in a dish with pasilla peppers and chilies and adobo, I just don't think you're going to like, oh, the mushrooms, I got to put the mushrooms. I just don't think you're going to notice, honestly. So the mushrooms I'm going to cut up, again, 1/4 inch. I just want them to kind of match the onions and the Fideos and the pepper strips. If you're, so sometimes oyster mushrooms, guys, they come with like giant bits on the end, especially if you get them in a supermarket. It's not an Asian market. The Asian markets will take the ends off before they package them and charge you more, whereas the supermarket will just charge you by the weight. So just whack that part off. If there's a giant end on it, just take it off. But I'm kind of just like looking for like 1/4 inch strips here. And I'm roughly cutting these lengthwise, but again, I'm not stressing about it. They're going to reduce a little bit in the pan, the sauce. I'm not going to stress it too much. And again, you can use, I don't think I would use like shiitakes or something here, but if you were in the supermarket, cremini mushrooms would be just fine. You could use those, and those are cut up enough. Okay, and this can just go back in the tray until we're ready. I should have to move some of this stuff out of the way. So we're gonna have to do another, we're gonna do a sound test because I'm gonna try and use the burner, the squealing burner, and hopefully it doesn't squeal tonight because that was really annoying last time. But I need to use it, so let's just, oh, you know what we haven't done? You can toast the noodles. So now we're gonna do things at once. Because I'm so good at that. And that was a joke for people that don't know me all that well. But we are going to do things at once. So, I'm doing this in that, no, I don't want that. There's a couple of ways you can do your noodles. If you have like a cooking spray, like an oil spray, you could spray the nests and do them in the oven. I didn't want to do that because I can't do that on stream. So I'm going to do it old school and just fry them in the pan. We'll see how that goes. This doesn't take, I mean, we do want them quite dark, so we're just going to see how this goes. I'm going to make some room here in case I want two burners going, which I might actually. Any questions so far? Okay. I am going to multitask and see if I can get, see if I can get gas in this thing. Give me a sec, guys. It's definitely one of those times, fresh gas tonight. There we go. We're gonna multitask tonight. Got two pans going. We can do this. Can you guys see everything? Yeah, you can see everything. Okay, great. So, noodles are gonna go into the hot oil, which is not hot enough yet, but it will be. And we're gonna toast these. And as I said, yes, Rebecca, you could use fresh tomatoes for this. That would be just fine. And cherry tomatoes would actually be good, nice and sweet. I think that's a good idea. Okay, a little more oil in there. It's much easier, by the way, to fry the straight noodles. I'm gonna have to watch these and turn them. And what time is it anyway? It's 7:18, so let's just keep an eye on these and see how it goes. I don't want them like, I don't want them crazy hot. And then the other thing we're going to do is heat up some olive oil. I'm using olive oil, yes. I'm going to fry with olive oil. I know that the internet will scream at you if you fry with olive oil because it's got a low smoke point, you're going to burn it and whatever. But it has a nice flavor. I'm not using a super high heat. And just like pay attention, guys. Yes, it has a low smoke point, but it doesn't mean it like smokes at 200 degrees or something. So I'm going to add my onions here. And my mushrooms. And we're going to start those cooking. We're also going to add a healthy pinch of salt. This is a decently heavily seasoned dish, so. Hey, Ellie. Okay. Yes, Ellie. So this is you missed the whole intro part on Mexican spaghetti. This is okay. This is Sopa, the Sopa Seca de Fideos, which is a dry soap. Wow, these cooked up way faster than I thought they were going to. This is exactly the color I was looking for, but it happened a lot faster than I expected. So, I might not have needed to multitask. Look at that. And by the way, guys, if you don't toast the noodles, I have a backup package, Serena. I'm learning. If you don't toast the noodles, your Fideos finished dish will be mushy. All right. So somebody like type in all caps in chat in like 2 minutes so that I can remember to take those out. And this should go about 7 minutes, I'm guessing. I want my onions browned here and the mushrooms reduced a fair bit. So we're just gonna wait until that happens. And I'm gonna need a tray. I'm gonna use the mushroom tray for that. Put the noodles on because these noodles are gonna be ready like, wow, fast. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to put these on the tray until we're ready. Really, so I've never fried up these noodles before, and I'm pretty happy with the way they're coming out. Oh yeah, we have Serena is concerned. We got a Amazon Echo Dot thingy. But it's too much like the Matrix for Serena, so... Sorry, we didn't get it. It came in an auction lot of stuff that I bought, and it just happened to be in there. So if anybody wants an Amazon Echo Dot, I don't exactly know what it does, but I do know that it's not welcome here, and the first person to reach out to me and say they want it can have it. Okay, no idea where we're going to put this. Good enough. Okay. So this can go away for now. Using my old burner, which is fine. I'll bring this so you guys can see. And now this is just going swimmingly. Heat's up too high though. There we go. And how long did I say, guys? I said 7 or 8 minutes. This is 7:27. I guess we're gonna let this go to. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm watching the clock, but really I'm watching what happens in the pan. So I want to brown them, Rebecca. I definitely want them. I want some good color on them. This is a dish that you want. It's a lot of big flavors. So you want like brown onions, brown mushrooms. We brown we brown everything in this dish. We brown the noodles. And I know I talk a lot about watching the clock, and one of the things that. One of the reasons I do that, especially on a recipe that I haven't made before, is I want to equate what the recipe said, because then they say 7 to 8 minutes. Now, I know how long it takes to brown onions, but I'm always curious to see if the person who wrote the recipe kind of like knows what they're talking about, I guess. I don't know. I'm being judgmental, but in a good way. Is it a good way? I don't know. You get the idea. Okay. It smells delicious. But I want some more color. I'm going to turn up the heat. Again, said this a million times, don't rush at home, guys. Take your time, especially with onions. The slower you brown your onions, the better off you're going to be. If I wasn't doing this on stream, I would have these on a lower heat and let them caramelize and develop color slower. But here I'm just shooting for the color. And you don't need to stir it like I'm doing here. This is like one of them nervous habits or whatever. Or maybe it's the fact that sometimes I just can't leave well enough alone. No, one of the two. Or a combination of both. And Serena, when you come down for your portion, can you bring a couple of forks? I got spoons for some reason, which is probably not right. Hopefully, though, I have remembered more or less everything that I do need for tonight. Last week was a little comical, yelling up the stairs 3 or 4 times for things I'd forgotten. I don't need this out here right now. Oh, the other thing too, guys, as well as the tomatoes, we're going to be adding chicken stock. If you don't have homemade stock, that's totally cool. I like, and I don't have it tonight either. This Campbell's broth is actually pretty solid. Just make sure you get either the 30% less sodium or the no sodium. Either is fine. The full-on sodium one, it just makes it too hard to season your dish. So I stay away from it. The full-on sodium one is probably good for like cleaning silverware or something, or polishing something maybe, but I wouldn't eat it. And I like salt, don't get me wrong. Like, I do like salt, but it just doesn't taste good. And the other thing too is, you want to be able to control the seasoning in your dish. You build your seasoning from scratch, right? Don't let somebody else do it for you. It's the other problem I have with any kind of like pre-done recipe thing that has a seasoning package is going to be like just chock full of salt. Okay. I was going to say I'm happy with the color here. I'm going to let, okay, you know what though? We got to add the peppers anyway. So we're just going to toast these guys. And we'll let this go a couple, ooh, it smells so good. Right as soon as the peppers hit, man, you can smell it. We're going to let this go till 7:30. 3 minutes to just toast the chilies. And again, these aren't super spicy, so I'm not worried about pepper spraying myself this time. We just want to, before I add the rest of the ingredients, I want the chilies just to toast a bit in the oil. Any other questions? I'm looking forward to this. So this is also what makes this like such a wonderful weeknight meal. And I'm not a huge fan of the whole rush through the weeknight wheel, slam it on the table kind of thing. But having said that, every once in a while, you want to cook something quick, and you want it to be a little bit easy. So this all does in one pan. Ellie, these are pasilla chilies. So we talked about that a little bit at the beginning. A pasilla chili is definitely preferred for this, and you can get it in sort of more gourmet markets and stuff like that. Like a good supermarket, well-stocked, will have them somewhere, probably. If you can't get them, anchos are fine. And if you can't get any kind of chili at all, you can just throw in another chili and adobo. Add some flavor. And I'm thinking about my dish here, and I'm thinking about that lone chili I put in there, and I'm just not sure it's enough. However, I'm going to be mindful of everybody else who has to eat this dish, and we'll see. I may stir a bit of adobo sauce directly into mine at the end. I will adjust the seasoning at the end. Okay, 1 more minute on these chilies. Smell incredible. And they're glistening and black. I don't know if can you guys see the color on the chilies? Like they'll start to shine. Yeah, you can. They'll start to shine and look like, come on, focus. Not going to focus. Come on. Here. There. They'll start to shine like that when they're done. You don't want them blackened, so I'm not. Oh, Carlos. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Okay, tomatoes and adobo go in. And I'm going to stir in the cilantro. I'm going to turn it down a bit. So this is going to go for about 5 minutes before we add the broth. And this is probably going to get quite thick, and that's okay. Again, you could use diced tomatoes here. I kind of like my tomatoes chunky. Like I like the way these San Marzano tomatoes break down. I love the flavor of them. Just I guess when you're buying tomatoes, like I buy these by the case, if you start with a whole tomato, you can make it smaller. It is way harder to open a can of diced tomatoes and make a whole one. So you just have more options, I feel. Okay, Ellie. They are not equivalent at all, actually, Ellie. Fresh poblano peppers are actually really tough to find. The Mexican market near me has them. Farm Boy sometimes has them. And I hate to say it, but if you go to like a really big Loblaws, like the one at, I know you guys aren't in Toronto, but if you go, for example, for me, if I go to the big Loblaws that's on Lakeshore, they have like a pepper station in the center of the vegetable things, and they have all kinds of chilies, and they had fresh poblanos there. Okay, now I turned it down too far. Let's get back up a bit. And I said what? I said 5 minutes, so that's 7:37. I really should get a timer, so I don't have to bend down and look at the. I'll just spray myself. Bend down and look at the screen all the time. Or like maybe I can get one for the screen here that I can see. You guys can't see the screen, but I of course can see the screen that's right in front of me here. Helps me keep track of everything. Well, the chat mainly. Okay, so we're just I'm just breaking up the tomatoes. I'm gonna let this cook for 5 minutes, and yeah, poblanos are definitely worth seeking out. It's a wonderful, wonderful pepper to cook with. And again, you guys can't hear it. Maybe you can hear it. I can hear that this is too high. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Listen to your food, guys. It'll tell you what's going on. All right, and I kind of digging the colors in this already. Looks good. It's been a while since I used this burner. I'm getting used to it, yeah. Okay. It smells delicious. I'm going to give this another shot of seasoning. Even with the broth, this is going to take a solid like teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to start with that right now. Serena has nailed it. She's exactly right. So like the chipotles that are in this dish are like smoky and what did she say? She actually put it so well. Smoky, yeah, you know, she said smoky, yeah. Good term. And I said we were going to 7:35. I feel like that's been long enough. Okay, so in goes the broth to get us to the right consistency, I hope. I give this a little mix, and then our Fideos are going to go in. As I spray myself with even more tomato sauce. So we're just going to nestle these guys in. I could probably have used maybe a little more. Maybe I should have done some of the other package. These just fit so nicely in the pan. No, that's about right. Got all you guys in there. Like hurting for noodles. Okay, let's get the heat up, get this back to a boil. Now don't mess around with them like I'm doing. I'm just trying to get them a little dunked. But don't mess around with them in the first 4 minutes or so because they're quite crisp and you'll just bust them up. So in about 4 minutes, which will be 7:39, they'll start to loosen up. What do you mean it doesn't look like dry soup? Oh, the noodles will absorb a lot of the liquid. I mean, it's about compromise, right? It's like best practices or something. I don't know. Making shit up now. But I want a total of... We're going to 744. This is going to be a quick one, guys. I'm kind of excited. So coming up, we're going to add about half of our crema, which is here. The whole recipe calls for about half a cup. I'm going to put a quarter in, and I'm going to show you guys, we're going to drizzle a little in on top of everything. I'm going to use this for... This is hopefully a good looking dish. Yeah, I know I'm messing with it. It feels weird on stream to just like stand here and do nothing. Yeah, see, Ellie understands. And I'm not really, I'm just like poking them for the sake of poking them. I'm not poking them hard enough to break the noodles or anything. I don't know. But I have to wait because they are not soft enough to do anything with yet. Not even close. So obviously the Sopa de Fideos is much more like a noodle soup. It's exactly the same as this, but different. Oh, it's brothier. Serena, you're right. So I wanted to keep you can top this with chorizo sausage, which would be really good. That would be traditional. You could do that as well. If you wanted to turn this into like a full-on hearty meal thing, you could top it with chorizo sausage. I'm going to just this was it's not vegetarian because of the chicken stock, but it would be vegetarian if you used vegetable stock. So yeah. But yes, traditionally or optionally, there's a pork topping. I don't know if you were kidding or not. If you were kidding, that's really funny. I'm just gotta leave it alone. Hey, Paul. I can't do a recap for you at this point. We're in the end game here. Just enjoy the sights and sounds. Well, you weren't kidding. Okay, great. Get in there. So at some point, these will become soft enough. We're getting there to like start to stir around so they can finish cooking. Yeah, they're starting to loosen up. It's good. I'm going to flip these guys. I know, I said I wasn't going to mess with it, but I'm messing with it because I feel like the tops of some of these are not getting soft. It is working though. And really, they shouldn't be soft for another couple of minutes anyway, so it's totally fine. It's almost, It's almost like a chow mein noodle, isn't it? Although that's an egg noodle. Oh well, not like a chow mein noodle. Chicharron, I don't even know what that is. I mean, obviously this is something you can make your own, right? Everybody's, not my Mexican grandmother, but every Mexican grandmother knows or has their own version of how to make this. It's a wildly adaptable and variable recipe, which is great because, you know, we're doing a technique here, and this is basically just the technique. And if you wanted to break this recipe down into the component techniques, the toasting the noodles is really important. Cooking them in the sauce is really important. But everything else is kind of, you know, the rest of the ingredients. I mean, obviously it's a tomato sauce with onions. I wouldn't stray from the onions and the tomato sauce. And toasting the noodles, but other than that, you could probably put whatever you want in. Ooh, those sound really good. So maybe next time we'll try that. I have a feeling this is going to be really good and something I'm going to make again, for sure. But I'm still, these are taking longer to cook than I thought they would. They're getting softer. Okay, kind of almost, well, no, I'm just gonna leave it. Just let it go. I was about to adjust the consistency and add a little more liquid, but I'm gonna let it go the distance and see what happens here. Yes, and that's Ellie. That's one of the things that I love about this already is it is so easy, you know, and it would be very responsive to like hitting the supermarket after work and throwing it together. You know the technique. You don't need the special noodles. You could use vermicelli, everything you can get at the supermarket, and you could put whatever you want in it and top it with whatever you want. If you can't get crema, now I have seen this. Like my local Freshco carries crema just like this. I didn't get it there, but they do have it. You could also use creme fraiche. If you don't have cotija, where's my cotija? Where is my cotija? Okay, I had a cheese somewhere. Where the hell did it go? Oh, here it is. This is a table cheese. You could use Parmesan. You could use Pecorino. You could use Grana Padano. You could use any grateable cheese like that. You could use over top. No, it's absolutely not important, Rebecca. In fact, the Nest Fideos are, you could definitely use feta. The Nest Fideos are the exception. Normally Fideo noodles are little sticks about this long. They're like little, they look like little bows, like a bow and arrow bow. It's just a slightly curved little stick. And not like a horseback bow, like a English longbowman's bow. Maybe that was unnecessarily geeky. I don't know. Okay, so great. Now these are softening up. We can start stirring them around, mixing this up. Okay, I just want a couple more minutes on these noodles. Yeah, so now you can see, now the noodles are nice and like, they're cooked. We're still gonna let them go a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna put this together. Oh yeah, oh, see, now it's all coming, everything's coming up Millhouse now. I'm just gonna taste one. Oh, shit, hot. No, use a couple more. I think I'm gonna hit it with just a bit more liquid. And we're gonna go like another 2 minutes. Mix this in. I just want to give it a final cook here. So this is like what, semi-seca, I guess? Well, I'm just trying to be descriptive, Serena. I don't have them. Okay. So now, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I leave this alone. Make me leave it alone here. He says as he keeps messing with it. 7:47. 7:47. I'm calling this done. I think it will be done. You don't want it to be mushy. The noodles should have like a little bit of bite. They shouldn't be crispy, but they shouldn't be mushy either. So we're going to go with this in 2 minutes. Plate it up. So here, oh, you know what? I can add the crema. That would have been our extra liquid. So I want about a 1/4 cup of this. I'm just going to squeeze it in. That seems like a 1/4 cup. And I'm going to put a 1/4 cup in this bowl, and you'll see why in a sec. Okay, so now I can stir this in. There we go. Look at that. Wonderful colors in this dish.
Leave alone.
Okay, when I works. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, not quite ready to plate this up yet. Look at that. You guys can see the color? Yeah. Could you use sour cream? No, I wouldn't use sour cream. I would use creme fraiche. Oh, hell. Yeah, you probably could use sour cream. I don't know. Make it your own. I think sour cream would work okay. It would be a little different. Okay, this is done. We're gonna, so Paul, what we're gonna, you're exactly right, Paul. Just give me a sec. We're not gonna use a blob of sour cream. So what I've done here is I'm taking some of the crema and a little bit of water. Whoa. And I'm making something I can drizzle on top. I feel that that's just drizzable because crema is too thick. And you'll see how that goes in just a sec. Okay, let's serve this up. I'm gonna move this off to the side so I can serve and eat in front of you guys. And we're doing 2 bowls, which are here. I kind of miss plates in the oven. I'm gonna have to figure out, I can taste it. Well, no, I want to do. I'm sure it's done. I'm going to just go with. I want to do the taste test all at once. So Rebecca's right. Normally, I would do a taste test to make sure the pasta was done and whatever. But I don't want to spoil like the first taste thing. So I'm just gonna risk it. The pan is really hot. A little sloppy. Okay, well I have made a mess of this bowl, but I'll fix that in a second. I'm hungry. One more here. Okay, now, what I did here. Always presentation. Presentation is a little bit important, even for if it's rustic, guys. Clean up your bowls and stuff. Okay. So what else did I say? I was going to drizzle crema on. Let's do that first. So just like a little bit of this on top, just as Paul suggested. This is our sour cream drizzle, but this is crema. Give it in for a little bit of flavor. I'm going to, crumble some goat cheese over the whole thing. Avocados are coming in just a sec. They're going to go on top of the whole thing. And I'm just going to crumble a little goat cheese on there because I really like goat cheese. And again, this is a soft goat cheese. You could use any kind that crumbles really. You could even crumble feta. Any kind of crumbly cheese will do. Yeah, one more piece here. There we go. And the avocado. I'm just gonna like slice it like this. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this one up so you guys can see it with the avocado. I'm not gonna put a lot of avocado on mine because I'm allergic to it, but there you go, guys. That's it. I'm gonna pass that off to Serena so she can go eat because she's probably starving. I'm gonna go with like two pieces of avocado on mine because I'm quite allergic, but it tastes amazing. Okay, so there you go, guys. Less avocado on mine. Oh, Ellie, I'm allergic to all fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as most nuts and anything with fur that moves. Okay, cleanse the palate. Let's see. Okay, it's definitely not a twirling pasta. I'm gonna get a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Wow, that's cool. It tastes like, I'm gonna try it with a bit of avocado and the cream and everything. It's hard to describe, guys. So, it's not spicy, so I would definitely add more, it tastes wonderful, it just doesn't have a lot of kick. But it's a really interesting mix because you have all the sort of the toppings of the fresh crema and the avocado and the goat cheese, and then you dig down and you get like you get all of the yummy well, they're not the tomatoes and the mushrooms and the peppers that are in this. Yes. Okay, highly recommended, guys. This is so easy, and it's such a great comfort food too. And the one thing I love about this as a comfort food is unlike a bowl of stew, or actually even unlike a big. Oh, you know what we didn't do? See, got distracted. I'm gonna try this now. I'll tell you how it goes. The tortilla should go over top. It's not a huge deal, but I'm going to try it with that anyway. But what I was saying is, the noodles are soft, but they also have a little bite. So they have like little crispy bits, which are quite nice for texture. But unlike a stew or a big bowl of spaghetti or something, this is multi-dimensional. You have these wonderful bright flavors on top, and then just like yummy comfort goodness underneath. I just want to eat all of this right now. Oh my god. Seriously. I could seriously just eat this whole bowl right now. Okay. But I won't. Yeah, and the mushrooms are fantastic. So, despite what I said about using any kind of mushroom, I think you want like a pretty hearty tasting mushroom. The minimum would be creminis. I said I wouldn't use shiitakes here. I might actually. Any kind of super earthy... Oh wow, shouldn't have eaten the avocado. Super earthy mushroom would be fantastic. This, wow. So, this is, in terms of trying things out on stream, this is one of the best things, regardless, this is one of the best things I've made in a long time. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying the blend of flavors and everything. Then we have leftovers. Yeah. Guys, you got to make this. Look up your version. There's recipes for this all over the place. You've seen the technique. You guys know what you like. You'll know right away when you see a recipe. I'm going to put this in. Because once you know the technique, that's the whole point of knowing the technique. You'll be able to go, okay, I'm going to put this in, I like this. I'm going to put this in, and I like this. Stick to roughly these proportions. I don't think you can go wrong. Really delicious. very happy. I know what I'm doing next week. I'm doing agnolotti next week, which I've made a million times. I want to go back and do I haven't rolled out a sfoglia in ages, so I want to roll out a fresh sheet of spinach pasta for you guys. I want to do agnolotti. It's one of my favorite shapes. I think it's a very elegant shape. And I just like doing it. And I've done it a million times. And I want to do that for you guys next week. So, excuse me, we have next week covered. I'm going to hang around for 2 seconds. 2 minutes. Well, a minute. For any questions. This is what I wanted to show you. And obviously calling this Mexican spaghetti doesn't do it any kind of justice. If you see this on TikTok, scroll past it and go find a regular recipe. There you go. It's just delicious. Really happy. So. Okay, guys. Happy to make this for any and all of you. It's the first chance I get. Okay, so I wasn't going to jump the gun, Serena. I wasn't going to jump the gun. I wasn't going to say, like, because we never do that, like, instant into the blue book. I reserve, well, maybe, I don't know. I think this goes in the book. This is really good. So, yes, Ellie, you're more than welcome. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go dig out the blue book and maybe put this in. Have a fantastic week. Love doing this for you guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next Wednesday for agnolotti, which I think you guys will really enjoy as well. So, have a great night, everybody.